Hello, lovely, and welcome to the 100th episode of Tiny Time Big Results. I am so excited to be able to record this episode for you because it's 100 episodes. And I want to use this 100th episode to really, I want to just really emphasize the importance of what we're doing here, right? You want to have an amazing business that fits in with your lifestyle, a business that literally works with your life, not a life that fits in with your business. You want to be able to create amazing results and generate income and impact and just working for 4 to 5 hours a day, right? That's what you're here for. And the gateway to all of this happening is messaging. And the reason why I've called this episode the magnetic messenger is because I wanted to talk about the 3 things that you need to have in place in order to be that magnetic messenger. Okay. Because ultimately, the way people come into your world, the way that they become aware of you, the way that they understand what it is that you do, it's all down to your messaging, right? And for me, messaging is not that one liner. Oh, it's part of it, but it's not just the one liner. I think people often mistake it and think, oh, it's the one liner, it's my 60-second spiel, and that's it. It really isn't, because messaging weaves into everything that you do. How you introduce yourself, absolutely, but how you talk about your offers, how you create content, how you engage people so that they can get to know you, like you, and build that trust so that they are comfortable enough to do that energy exchange where basically they give you money and you offer them the transformation and you deliver on that transformation. But messaging is the gateway. Messaging is what gets them through the door. And if you can't get them through the door, then you literally are the world's best kept secret. You're sitting there thinking, I'm banging my drums here, but nobody's listening. Messaging is what gets people's attention. And so here are the 3 things that you absolutely need to have in place in order to be that magnetic messenger. Okay. And I'm going to go talk you through these. And I want you to listen to them through the lens of, okay, how can I apply this in my business right now? Because honestly, what I see with a lot of business owners, and I've been doing this for over a decade, so, and I've made all the mistakes that you can around messaging. But what I see is that people are constantly fighting with this gremlin of messaging. And really, the enemy of messaging is where we massively overcomplicate, right? Hands up, all my overcomplicators, my overthinkers, yeah, I'm one of those too. And so we massively overcomplicate what our messaging is about. And I really just want to emphasize these 3 things that really help you to become a magnetic messenger. Because if you've been in my world for any length of time, you'll know that I can talk at great length about all of these things, right? And all the things that you really want to avoid doing so that you get heard. People know about you, they become aware of you, they become educated about what you do. And then when you extend the invitation for them to come and work with you, they're like, yeah, let's do this, right? That's what you want. So what are the 3 things? What are the 3 things that will make you or help you to become that magnetic messenger? And remember, it's not just about something that you do, it's about the person that you are going to become. Because the magnetic messenger, it's like an identity. You kind of say, I'm stepping into magnetizing the right people. Okay, so what are those 3 things? So let's talk about number 1. And you're going to go, oh, Yasmin. Okay, here it is. Clarity. Clarity. Like one of the most, I suppose, the most frequent things that my clients will say to me is when they've worked with me and we work on their messaging and they're like, I'm so clear on what it is that I'm doing, right? And I work with coaches all the time. And I'm really good at doing messaging for other people. But when it comes to my own stuff, it's like I've got brain fog. And so I have my coaches. And I remember when I had that light bulb moment of like, oh, this is what I do. And when you get that light bulb moment, like that is gold. That is absolute gold, because now you have built that solid foundation. You're clear on what it is that you're doing and who you're doing it for. When you don't have that, everything is so hard. It feels like such a struggle. And there you are, wasting time on social media, doing reels, looking at hashtags and everything else. But because your foundation isn't solid, you are not clear, and therefore your person is not clear. Remember, a confused mind never buys. So if you don't have that clarity, then they're not going to have the clarity, and they're not going to know why they're going to come and buy from you. When I meet people and I ask them what it is that they do, and then they, ask me what I do, and they go, "Oh, what do you think of my messaging?" And I was like, and I'm one of those people that will be kind but honest, right? You don't need me to go, "Oh my God, that's a good thing," right? You don't need that. You want someone who's going to say to you, "Do you know what? I think this could be so much more potent, so much more impactful if you tweaked this or did this," right? That's what I love to do. So you want to have that clarity, right? Because when you have that clarity, honestly, it will ooze out of you. You will be magnetic because people will just be drawn to the clearness of your messaging. But if you're not clear, your messaging is not going to be clear. So that's the first thing, clarity. Okay. Number two, right? This really ties into, it's not just about the doing, but it's about the being, right? Conviction is the second thing. Do you have the conviction of your own beliefs around this? I was chatting with my clients in my message mastery program recently, and I was saying to them that, one of the things that you must be when it comes to your messaging is unapologetic. I was worried that I was going to do a double negative there, right? You must be unapologetic about your messaging. I want you to stand up and say, "This is so important. People need to know this. This is transformative. This is going to change your life," right? That's how I feel about messaging, because I know that, and I was chatting with my client and she was like, "You have completely turned around how I create content. Like, I can't believe I was doing all of this. Now look at what I'm doing," right? And for me, that's why I get really passionate. I get really evangelical about messaging, because I think, honestly, if you can nail this, your business is going to be so much more easier. It's going to build more traction, momentum. You're going to attract people into your world. You're going to build your audience. You're going to build your list. You're going to make more money because your messaging is powerful, right? But if you kind of go, "Yeah, I kind of," and there's like that wishy-washy energy, there's that wavering energy within you, it's not going to work, because so much of messaging is your energy. It's the energetics, how you come across. People are going to be attracted to your energy. And so you want to be really thinking about, what is it that I'm sharing right now? So when I was working with one of my message mastery clients, and there was one particular part of her message that was tripping her up, right? It was really triggering her imposter syndrome. And she was really struggling with that. I said, "Let's take it out. Let's take it out." And she's like, "Oh my God, that feels so much better." Now I know she's going to have the conviction of her message, and she's going to talk about it in a different way. Because if there's a part of you that's like kind of all apologetic and like, "Oh, I kind of do this," it's not going to work. You got to get their buy-in, and they'll get their buy-in through you. Okay. So you've got to have the conviction. Okay. So that's clarity, conviction. And then the third C, I did not plan this to be C's, but the third C, the third thing is consistency. Favorite word, I know. You're probably thinking, "Jeez, Yasmin, I don't want to talk about consistency." I'm not talking about you showing up every single day, right? Or every hour, or like, 5 times a day you have to be posting, blah, 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 right? None of that. What I'm talking about consistency is that when someone talks to you, when they read your content, when they, maybe you've been interviewed by somebody, you're talking about the same thing, right? You're not using necessarily the same words, because that can become boring, right? But I'm a big fan of having like an umbrella concept around your message, so that whatever you talk about fits nicely under that message. Okay. But you've got to be consistent. You can't talk about one thing one week and then switch and start talking about something else. If you have got 2 different things going on in your business, you've got to be able to link the two, right? That's something else that I was doing with one of my clients, where we were kind of saying, okay, so let's see what the link is. Because what you don't want is people getting confused. Oh, I thought she did this, but now she's doing this. You don't want them to think that they are two separate things. You want to make sure that there is that linkage and that you're being consistent. Because ask yourself this question: what is it that I want to be known for? What is it that I want to be known for? And if you're constantly changing and doing this, that, and the other, it's going to be really hard for people to get a sense of that. And it's your job to make sure that they get a sense of it, that they understand it. Because if your message is not memorable and repeatable, then it's not as magnetic as it could be. Okay. And I want you to be so magnetic. I want people to hear your message and go, boom, that's what I want, right? I want that for you. You've got to want that for you too, right? Because it will make it so much easier. Every time I talk to a new person, when I get new eyes on my content, my stuff, and they go, oh, that sounds really interesting. Oh my God, oh, that's amazing. Right? For a long time in my business, I did not have that. I was wishy-washy. I was apologetic. And I wasn't aligned. Because here's the thing, if what you do, and there's a part of you that doesn't feel aligned, you're like, oh, I don't know if I really can do that. Pick the thing that you know you are absolutely amazing at, that this is your gift, and know that it's going to be enough, right? Because like I said, magnetic messaging is not just about the words, but it's about the energy. And when you show up full of yourself in the best possible sense, you're going to become as magnetic as anything. And then that's when the income comes. That's when the impact comes. Now, if you want to know more about how you do this, how do you become a magnetic messenger, I want you to send me a DM. You can send me a DM on Instagram or Facebook, or you can email me at support@yasminboragi.com. And in the subject title, just put magnetic. And let's have a conversation about how we can make you magnetic. I have a range of options about how people can work with me, and we can find what the best thing is for you right now. Okay. So just DM me or email me at support@yasminboragi.com. And all you have to do is just put that one word, magnetic, and we'll take it from there. All right, listen, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast to get notified of all new episodes. And don't forget to share. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you share with somebody else that you think is going to benefit. All right, my lovely, I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.